everybody. What are we doing right now, Steven?
We're going to AutoZone.
That's right, people. We're getting in the zone. I want to thank our sponsor, AutoZone, who's one day probably maybe going to sponsor us. What are we getting? Spark plugs?
Yeah, we're going to do spark plugs.
Air filter?
Oh yeah, spark plugs and air filter. We're going to see how much it costs to do cap and rotor. And we might throw that in as well.
Steve, AutoZone Steve, was stoked that we have a Prelude now. By we, I mean Steven. Right now, we're doing spark plugs, air filter. Oh, and we're checking other maintenance things to make sure that we're getting maximum horsepower out of it. I want to show you the old spark plugs. Where are they? I filmed one. All right, this is what was in it before. As you can see, it's perfectly fine.
They're not perfectly fine.
But Steven
very corroded.
Likes to shove it in my face how much money he makes and how little money means to him. So he buys brand new spark plugs just to put me down.
You're poor and I don't want you to forget it.
Look at this other stuff we got from AutoZone. We got this used. We didn't put this box in this bad condition with the Sharpie on it and everything. This is how we bought it. Because only the best for the Honda. And speaking of only the best, let's just go over that this is an Stp filter, which AutoZone was nice enough to give us because they're our sponsor.
It costs like $11.
Yeah, we actually did buy it because we're not sponsored by AutoZone. This is the brand new pod filter. Ooh, what's it looking like in there?
It smells like ozone. That's definitely oil. And the posts don't look too good.
New versus old. I don't know if it's the valve train design or if it was the clogged air filter, but I thought it was losing power up in the higher RPMs, like past 6. That's the Honda update for June 12th, 2K16, right?
So one of the things that we decided to do was to take the resonators out of the intake tubing. And to do that, Ryan has gone through, there's 2 spaces where it kind of expanded and went out. Ryan went over with electrical tape and clogged them up. So this should allow us to do this and keep everything from going into the engine. And if they leak, it doesn't matter because the filter's at the very end of the system, but this way we can save some space and hopefully sound even more head flowy.
Even more F1 style.
Even more like a Honda. Like that. We are draining the brake fluid from the master cylinder so that we can replace the master cylinder.
I don't think we've mentioned the master cylinder this whole time.
Oh, it doesn't work.
No, not at all. It just kind of goes to the floor.
Badly. Sitting at a traffic light, you constantly have to...
What would you say? That you have about 4 seconds of braking before you have to repump?
4 seconds before you need to pump, unless you're braking hard.
Yeah, if you brake hard, like if you're going for it, the master cylinder holds up great.
Yeah, and it'll come to a stop.
Here we are test driving after the brakes. Woof. Well, they worked just fine. It stops quick.
It does stop very quick. It's impressive how fast the brakes stop it.
We just found out that the brakes actually have tons of life left.
They're brand new.
There's actually a lot left over from the previous owner on this car. The brakes, the fucking engine's in great shape.
Yeah.
And I think when we change the transmission fluid, we're gonna feel a really nice difference. The fucking Honda's ready to race. So much sun in my eyes. Nice. What kind of a luxury car is this?
Dude, let's go do a really quick pull.
Oh, dude, yeah, we gotta test horsepower.
Transmission's still rough. I mean, it could be placebo, but it does feel a little better.
Either way, we know it's right.
Yeah. Let's go to the straight part of the range and try and time 0 to 60. Alright, let's do a stop from 40. Sick. Alright, so we know it will lock up. Ready?
Honda Magic. Look who's elbow deep in Honda Magic. Look who loves their Honda. Here we are in the Honda shop. Was it June 24th? We got Steven here. Steven doing the suspension. Looks like it's going well. And meanwhile, I'm over here in the trunk doing some weight reduction. We are gonna make this the best Honda in the land. Steven, you're showing me what you bought for the Honda.
I bought some stuff for the Honda.
Off Amazon, mostly.
All.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Except for the Struts and stuff I got from Alex.
Right, our other sponsor.
Alex's Garage on
Railroad Boulevard.
German auto specialist for my Honda. Anyway, I decided that I needed to embrace Honda life.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a keychain.
Wow.
And the part that you're really gonna like was so cheap, I bought another one for the spare.
Wow.
Both this and the spare have a Honda keychain.
Wow.
I felt like I really needed to rep Honda, so to piss off all the Honda car owners, I bought a Honda motorcycle t-shirt.
I did notice the wing, the Honda wing.
Yep. So there was another thing that you're going to really enjoy. A pressure gauge, tire pressure gauge.
Wow.
Because I needed one. Do you remember on Mighty Car Mods, Mechanical Stig's favorite tool? The rivet gun that rivets in threaded nutserts? So instead of a rivet, it's a threaded tube. So you drill the hole,
Yeah.
and then you pop rivet this in place, and then these little teeth hold it in place, and then you can thread a bolt into it.
Wow. What are we gonna do with those?
We're gonna relocate the battery.
Oh, that's right. So no VTEC badge?
Not yet. I do like the idea of really pissing off Honda people by representing this as something it's not.
Look at this hole for the rain.
Wow, what a weight savings. Less than a pound. Off the wrong end.
It's probably more than a pound.
63% weight bias to the front. We need to be taking weight off the front. We need to take the air conditioning system out.
That's bad news. Because that stuff that we thought was the AC, that's the power steering. The AC is like buried in there and it's a part of the belt of the everything else. Honda really fucked us on this one. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for pointing out that we didn't have any idea what the fuck we were talking about.
So where's the AC?
It's buried underneath the alternator.
Good. So that's gonna stay there.
I mean, we could modify it.
In what way?
Like, take it out and then like fuck it up, but keep the pulley on it. Dinner's done. How does it feel knowing that I fixed the brake light?
You broke it first.
Right. Oh, and just so everyone knows, if you undo this ground, which is where the antenna goes, it fucks everything up in the whole car. So if you plug that back in, literally the whole car gets fixed. On today's episode of MO2 Tutorials, we're going to show you how to chisel out insulation. Do I have your permission to take a chisel to the sound insulation in the trunk?
Are you going to finish it?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like all of it? You're not going to leave a bunch of half
I don't think so.
Then go for it.
The goal is, yeah, like it looks like you're going to be doing the suspension for a couple days
Thanks, man.
at this rate, so I'll just chisel that shit out.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have somebody helping you, but you know, it's alright.
Well, I help when you say my name.
Cool.
So, our Honda specialist isn't here right now, but if he was here, he would say the best way of doing this is with dry ice. I'm a Toyota guy, so I'm just going to take a wood chisel and a hammer and try to chisel it out. Well, I unlocked the the chiseling game's easy mode by using just the back of the hammer to just smack it, so that's pretty sweet.
I can't help but think that you're just slowly ruining this car. One hammer swing at a time. I can't even believe I'm saying that.
We've done nothing but make this car better since we got a hold of it. Steven, more on that. Do you know what potential is? Potential is wasted energy. I'm not talking about science. I'm talking about life. We are unlocking this car's potential as a sports car, which is how it was sold.
Oh.
It's been wasting its life 27 years now. We're finally making it what it needs to be, what it was destined to be. what it was destined to become. Look at that. All of that silver is weight savings, and it is marvelous. But that's not going to make a big difference. It's going to make a medium-sized difference. It's going to make a big difference in suspension. Ain't that right, Steven? Steven loves that sound.
The click of the camera?
Yeah, Steven, that's when Steven knows.
That's how I know my life is about to get more interesting.
Steven, how's the day 2 of Honda suspension magic going?
Actually, way better than day 1.
Yeah, we were just tired yesterday.
Done.
Right now I'm trying to pre-funk, trying to get my head in the game for to finish off my trunk weight reduction job. What, Steven? You need help?
No! Yes!
Sit rep. We can't get the spring to compress with our spring compressors.
AutoZone!
Are you gonna bring springs so that way we can see if it fits? After the suspension was all updated and put back together, it was time for the 2016 autocross season, and Steven got to finally begin racing the Prelude and finally experiencing the purpose the car was bought for. The car lived at my house, and I would drive it for fun every once in a while, and the only problems the car had were minor overheating issues after a hard romping on the engine. But overall, it was holding up really well for an 80s Honda approaching 300,000 miles. By the end of the summer, we even filmed one of the very first videos we made for Kart Foolery. Rink Ranch Fast Grass 2016. If you haven't watched that one, I highly recommend it. There's plenty of action and fun in that video. If you're watching this video in the Prelude Origins playlist, the Rink Ranch Fast Grass video will play next when this video ends. With all that said, that brings us nicely to the end of this episode. In the next Prelude Origins video, we continue to ruin the car with weight reduction measures, and then for safety, we mount a fire extinguisher. So, we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.